What an absolutely jaw-dropping day for the NFL and, more importantly, for fans of the Dallas Cowboys, because one of the biggest bombshells of this offseason has officially dropped, and it's the kind of seismic move that shakes up not only the NFC but the entire league. Fred Warner, widely regarded as the best linebacker in the NFL, a perennial All-Pro and the defensive heartbeat of the San Francisco 49ers, is now officially a Dallas Cowboy. Yes, you heard that right, Fred Warner is heading to Dallas, and this is not just another free agency shuffle or a trade footnote. This is a monumental shift in the NFL's power balance, a bold and aggressive move by the Cowboys front office that signals one thing loud and clear: they are all in. This isn't just about adding talent, it's about building a defense with championship DNA, a unit that can finally match the explosiveness of Dallas's offense and give them a legitimate shot at ending their decades-long Super Bowl drought. Now, let's unpack what this blockbuster means, why it's such a masterstroke for Dallas, and how Fred Warner's arrival could go down as one of the most transformative acquisitions in franchise history. First, let's talk about Fred Warner the player. We're talking about a linebacker who isn't just great, he redefines the modern linebacker role. Since being drafted by the 49ers in 2018, Warner has consistently elevated his game, becoming the nerve center of one of the league's most feared defenses. His range, awareness, speed, and instincts are all elite. There's no linebacker in the game today who can cover ground sideline to sideline like Warner. He reads plays like a quarterback, disrupts passing lanes, snuffs out runs before they develop, and anchors a defensive front with relentless energy and vocal leadership. For years, Warner was the guy Dallas fans wished they had every time the Cowboys' defense gave up a crucial third down or failed to contain a scrambling quarterback. Now, they've got him, and the timing couldn't be better. Coming off a season where Dallas's defense flashed greatness but fell short in critical moments, especially in the playoffs, the addition of Warner is more than a roster upgrade, it's a culture change. What's truly terrifying for opposing offenses is what this means for the rest of the Cowboys' defensive lineup. Picture it, Micah Parsons and Fred Warner on the same field. That's not just two elite defenders, that's two of the smartest, fastest, most explosive players in the league working in tandem. Parsons, the chaos bringer who lines up everywhere and wrecks game plans with his sheer athleticism, now gets to share the burden and the spotlight with a linebacker who can handle the mental and physical rigors of play calling and pre-snap adjustments. That frees up Dan Quinn, the Cowboys' defensive coordinator, to get wildly creative. He no longer needs to overextend Parsons by making him handle everything. Warner's presence brings balance and structure, allowing everyone else to play faster, looser, and more aggressively. Just imagine offensive coordinators trying to plan around that front seven. You've got DeMarcus Lawrence crashing off the edge, Parsons stunting and blitzing from every angle, and now Fred Warner roaming the middle of the field like a hawk. Throw in Leighton Vander Esch, if healthy, or the rising talent of Damone Clark suddenly. Dallas isn't just deep at linebacker, they're terrifying. This move also has massive implications for the Cowboys' secondary. One of the consistent issues for Dallas in the past has been communication and coverage lapses in the middle of the field, especially against tight ends and crossing routes. Warner immediately plugs that hole. He's one of the few linebackers in the league who can hang with tight ends in man coverage and still be effective dropping into deep zones when needed. His intelligence and discipline will also help eliminate those costly breakdowns that have haunted Dallas late in games. This trickle-down effect on the entire defense can't be overstated. When a guy like Warner is calling the plays and directing traffic, everyone else plays faster and with more confidence. The corners trust their safeties, the safeties trust the linebackers, and the defensive line knows the guys behind them have their back. That kind of unity and cohesion is what separates good defenses from great ones, and the Cowboys are now firmly in the latter category. But let's not forget the intangible factor, leadership. Fred Warner isn't just a star player, he's a vocal, respected leader who commands attention in the locker room and holds his teammates accountable. For a Cowboys team that has been criticized in recent years for lacking toughness and mental discipline in high-pressure moments, Warner brings a no-nonsense, championship-level mindset. He's played in Super Bowls, battled through wars in the NFC playoffs, and been the defensive cornerstone of a team that consistently won with physicality and grit. That mentality is infectious. Younger players like Darren Bland, Mozzie Smith, and Sam Williams will benefit immensely from having Warner as both a mentor and motivator. Even veterans will have to elevate their focus and preparation just by being around him. And for Dan Quinn, having Warner on the field is like having a second coach who speaks his language fluently. Communication on defense will now be cleaner, quicker, and more decisive, and that's often the difference between winning and losing a close game in January. Of course, with any major acquisition, the big question is, at what cost? As of now, the details of the trade are still emerging, but insiders suggest it involved a first-round pick and a package of assets, maybe a second or third pick and possibly a rotational player. If that's the price for a prime-age all-pro linebacker, it's an absolute steal. The Cowboys' draft picks in recent years have been solid, but they've also shown a pattern of overvaluing potential versus proven production. With Warner, there's no guesswork. He's a plug-and-play star who instantly raises the floor and ceiling of this defense. Plus, the Cowboys have already invested heavily in youth across the board. This is the kind of veteran move that completes the puzzle. Financially, Warner's contract will take up cap space, yes, but the Cowboys were already restructuring and preparing to make a splash this offseason. If anything, this signals a shift in philosophy from building for the future to winning now. Jerry Jones is 82 years old and more determined than ever to see another Super Bowl in his lifetime. Moves like this show he's not just talking, he's backing it up. The reaction from Cowboys Nation has been electric. Social media exploded the moment the news broke. Within minutes, Fred Warner to Dallas was trending nationwide. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube all flooded with reactions, memes, celebration videos, and stunned disbelief. It's not often that a move excites both the hardcore football analysts and the casual fans, but this one did. Even longtime critics of the team, including former players and media personalities, were forced to give credit. The message is loud and clear: the Cowboys aren't satisfied with just winning the NFC East. They want the whole thing. And now, with Fred Warner on board, they just might get it. The NFC landscape has shifted dramatically. The Eagles, who have dominated the division recently, now face a reinvigorated Cowboys team with more firepower and discipline on defense. The 49ers, ironically, just empowered a potential playoff rival. The Packers, Lions, and even the defending champion Chiefs all have to start preparing for a Cowboys defense that can beat you in the trenches, in the air, and in the mind. Make no mistake, this changes the playoff picture entirely. Imagine a wild card or divisional round matchup with Fred Warner calling out audibles, lining up Parsons, and shutting down elite offenses. That's not a hypothetical anymore, that's a real possibility. And Cowboys fans have every right to dream big. This isn't just another offseason headline. This is a culture-changing, franchise-shifting acquisition that brings Dallas one step closer to the promised land. Fred Warner in a Cowboys uniform is not only a perfect schematic fit, it's a symbol of belief. Belief that the time is now, that defense still wins championships, and that with the right pieces, anything is possible. So get ready, NFL. The star just got a lot brighter, and the path to the Super Bowl just got a whole lot harder for everyone else. Fred Warner is here, and the Cowboys are coming.